Ricky Gervais's Netflix special is drawing criticism for graphic jokes mocking trans people. Oh, what else is new? Okay, so let me just say something, okay? I mean, you're British. I'm discarding your opinion on the virtue of your being British, and you're too British. Dude, Ricky Gervais, the more I think about it, like I used to love The Office, obviously. Like it was great, and I loved his other shows as well. The more he got older, the worse he got. And when I look back at his like shit, he was always doing like the I'm being attacked for my perspective as a straight white man, you know what I mean? And I realized like that's kind of the thing. Like he's been doing that. He was always whack as like he did like how can you forget? This is Ricky Gervais. You know what I mean? Just never forget that is the guy. Like he was never really that funny. I think. Careful, you already anger the atheist ones. I mean, that's like come on, even the atheists recognize that. It's like he hit his militant atheist phase in high school and never mellowed out. Yeah, there are a lot of people like that, to be honest. But yeah, I think like what a lot of brands are trying to move into slowly is just farming the conservatives, you know, Black Rifle Coffee style. Conservatives do have a lot of money and do want to like spend that money on conservative product because they're so desperate. They already control like all manner of government, right? Even when they're not in positions of power, even when they're not winning elections, they still end up using like the state legislature and stuff. So the only thing they care about, basically, conservatives, I mean, is winning culture, okay? But obviously, because there aren't enough like conservative culture creators, they will pump a fuckload of money into whoever claims to be the culture guy, but in a conservative way, and have like reactionary ideas. So that's kind of what like Netflix is leaning into with this whole like, yeah, do some transphobia, like it's fine. Hopefully it'll piss people off and then they'll like be forced to watch it or something. What they don't realize is that like this is not gonna work. How is transphobia so prevalent in 2022? I mean, it's the hot thing to shit on. Okay, let's talk about fucking the real dumb shit, which is Ricky Gervais attempting to do comedy, okay? It's so hacky. It is so incredibly hacky to just like be like, trans people are bad and weird, okay? At this point, you're just farming. Like the farm is open and you're just, you know, it's just so stupid. Put a trigger warning. Okay, dude, I said Ricky Gervais, okay? Trigger warning, Ricky Gervais. Calm down.
The old-fashioned women. Oh, God. You know, the ones with wombs. Oh. Those fucking dinosaurs. Oh. No, I love the new women. I know the new women. They're great, aren't they? You know, the new ones we've been seeing lately. The ones with beards and cocks. They're as good as gold. I love them.
Bro, if I look like this, I wouldn't be talking about the way women should look. I'm just saying. You look like shit, dog. Why are you... What is going on? Like, what? Do people just, like, forget who they're listening to? Like, at a certain point, you just got to be like, okay, well, I don't look great. And that's the funniest part about fucking TERFs, okay? Is that TERFs, unironically, are not even having a mid-off. Like, 90% of the time... I'm not going to say it, but other trans people that are way funnier than me have pointed out that TERFs are on one, and it's very weird when they get together and have this conversation about like what women should look like, and then they don't fit in that category themselves. It's like Ben Shapiro talking about being a masculine man. It's like, bro, you literally... Like, we are the same. Side by side, when you put me next to Ben Shapiro and say, those are both men, there you understand that is, you know, that there's a broad range, okay? It is very broad what defines a man, what defines a male. You know, just because you're over here being like, haha, why are men not men anymore? I'm like, dude, you literally have not, your voice is still pre-puberty. And you can't grow a fucking beard. Calm down. That is not wrong. There's nothing wrong with that. But like, I just, you know what I mean? Like, don't try to shove like a neat little defined category of like what people should look like when you don't even fucking fit that, you know? You can make hacky jokes about women with beards, but the subject of men with tits is a little too close to home. Yeah.
No, it's the old-fashioned with it. And now the old-fashioned, they go like, oh, they want to use our toilets. Why shouldn't they use your toilets? For ladies. They are ladies. Look at their pronouns. What about this person isn't a lady? Well, his penis. Her penis, you fucking bigot. What if he rapes me? What if she rapes you? You
Yeah, that's what I'm always thinking. Yeah, definitely. It's just like this. A joke only lands when you have an entire fucking stadium full of transphobic people. Okay, and he does. He does have a full stadium full of transphobic people. It's not that hard. It's not that hard to fucking farm transphobes. All right. That's why Ricky Gervais is doing it. He's probably in Turf Island right now, filming this. So it's a great place to do something like this. But it's just like all of these jokes revolve around trans people being weird. Okay, that's it. Like, trans people are weird. Aren't they odd? Aren't they odd? Aren't they weird? That's it. You're looking from the outside and basically just repeating that over and over again. And of course, the audience is like, yeah, bruv, at least our schools don't look like a shooting gallery. And yeah, trans people are fucking weird, mate. Like, and that's why they're laughing. You know what I mean? They're like, oh, whoa, this is funny. I too believe trans people are fucking weird, mate. That's it. That's what you're getting. You're getting fucking, you're getting like applause from a group of people that like just agree with you. You can 100% make funny jokes about trans people, like, but you just need to know more about trans people. You need to not look at trans people as like fucking weirdos that need to go away, but instead just, people just like you and me. Instead of otherizing trans people, if you were to learn more about the trans experience, and then you could make funny jokes about trans people. Plenty of trans posters on the internet do it all the time. It's so funny watching all these conservative shows do a 180 and pretend to care about women in order to be transphobic as if they weren't constantly shitting on women like a year ago. Yeah, I mean, they still hate women. TERF means trans exclusionary radical feminists, like people who claim that they're radical, they're rad femmes, that believe that trans women are not women. Don't make the fact that they're trans the butt of the joke. It's just like, there's plenty to make fun of when you think about the trans experience. There's a lot going on. There's a lot of fucking stereotypes that you can point to and make fun of. Okay, I do it all the time when I talk about like, wearing programmer socks and playing Hearts of Iron or numerous other things, right? And it is a dark experience as a consequence of like social norms and how harrowing that experience of gender confirmation must be. In that darkness, there's a lot of funny shit that happens. The funny thing in that situation is just like, if you understand it a little bit, you don't have to be trans, but if you understand it a little bit, you can make jokes about trans people, which I do regularly, all the time, without coming across as like a fucking bigoted asshole who just like doesn't believe trans people or trans women or women or trans men or men. Like it's not that difficult as long as you understand the subject matter. That's my whole point. And if you don't understand it from the point of view of like trans people, like think about it from anything else. Like white guys making jokes about black people don't land in the same way and aren't as funny as Dave Chappelle making jokes about the black experience, right? There's a reason for that. And that's because it's not coming from a place of understanding. It's coming from like, pointing to it. There's also a reason why, for example, whenever fucking Bill Burr talks about the black experience or makes jokes about black people, it still comes from a place of understanding, a place of familiarity. He can be way more thoughtful as a consequence of his like friendship with Patrice O'Neal and also his wife and whatnot, where he is capable of like making jokes that are not as they're just not coming from a place of like being like, yeah, black people are strange, right? Look at these stereotypes. I'm like, yeah, that's okay, but not trans jokes. My favorite thing is when people just don't listen to what I'm saying. I mean, dude, you can continue being transphobic if you want, brother. Okay, it seems like you lack the mental fortitude to comprehend words that are coming out of my mouth when I personally have described. Like, of course there are jokes you can make about trans people. I make jokes about trans people all the time, and I just fucking rattled like a couple that come and where the difference is like it comes from place of understanding, okay, rather than pointing to trans people and being like, look how weird they are, right? Look how different they are. The new thing is annoying too. Like, trans people aren't new. I know. They'll come in here and literally be like, yeah, you can't make jokes about trans people. Blah, blah, blah. Like, no, you can. And plenty of people do. And Netflix will give you hundreds of millions of dollars, okay? But like, I care about jokes, okay? I care about jokes. I care about laughter. I care about humor. I know it's fucked up as a leftist to believe in these things. Like, constantly saying that like a trans woman is a fucking man and like misgendering them, like that's not funny. You're just like a dickhead. You know what I mean? It's only funny if you are in a room full of other dickheads, and there are plenty of transphobic people that they'll give you like the I agree with you applause, okay? It's so overplayed. They have one fucking joke. It's always like attack helicopter, but like different variations of that. It's also punching down. You can punch down or up. It doesn't matter. It's comedy. You can, but it's just dog shit. There's a difference between, there's a reason why all of the people that you refer to as like comedy greats, they were, with respect to their time and respect to the culture, with respect to like how people felt about certain civil liberties, certain sex, certain marginalized communities, those people were literally cutting edge. They were not fucking punching down. They were punching up. Why? Because punching down is easy. You're leaning towards the pre-existing social norms. That's easy. It's not funny. It's not cutting edge. It's not like actually new. It's not different. You're basically relying on every single person in that room already agreeing with you. There's nothing different than like, what's the deal with airplane food? You know what I mean? This is just the edgier version of saying, what's the deal with airplane food? Okay? You're just saying, what's the deal with trans people? Ha! Right? That's what you're doing. And people are so preconditioned. People are so conditioned into saying, oh, you said a transphobic joke was bad. That must mean you're triggered. Like, I don't give a fuck. I'm not triggered at all. I'm not trans. Why the fuck would it personally it trigger me? Like, I don't care. It's just, I do get triggered from the perspective of like doing, having people who like have made their bona fides on being like comedy legends or whatever, all these people that like I grew up with, turning into fucking weirdos who can't shut the fuck up about cancel culture and can't shut the fuck up about, trans people. You punch down on rad libs all the time though? Yeah, I do. And it's fucking right. And it's awesome. I do love punching down on rad libs. If you're fucking rad lib and you're in here constantly going, me. Oh, I can't believe you watched a video and you laughed at it when the video featured a semblance of violence. It's fucking unacceptable. Then like, suck my cock. Also, I'm not even punching down in that circumstance. Like rad libs are just fucking annoying. I'm punching directionally. What are you oppressed because you're like an annoying person? Yeah, well, sorry. I love that motherfuckers would literally be like, sorry, my entire personality is that I'm fucking annoying. And if you point that out, that means you're attacking a marginalized person. Yeah, well, suck my dick, okay? You're annoying. Sorry. How is it punching down when rad libs literally run America? Dude, rad libs don't fucking run shit, dude. What are you talking about? Rad libs don't run anything. What are you, fucking Ricky Gervais over here? They have no power. They're just fucking annoying. That's it. Their superpower is literally being annoying. Wherever their voices will be heard. Sometimes they can get a corporation to like fucking fire someone. Sometimes they can get a brand to fire like a celebrity or some shit. But that's it. All they can do is like mass harassment, mass targeting on fucking Twitter. But it's hilarious because like they would literally spontaneously combust if they walked outside. They live constantly in fear of their own lives, and all they have is like a little bit of fucking harassment power on the internet. Who gives a shit? You know what I mean? I'll sneeze on you and you'll fucking die. But anyway, so Ricky Gervais is like talking about how like, oh, women, am I right? They have dicks now. Sick, dude. You fucking killed it. And here's the other side, okay? Some of you are gonna get mad at me for this and be like, John Mulaney brought up Dave Chappelle as an opening act. Like John Mulaney, like we made John Mulaney's career. Like, trans and queer teens made John Mulaney's career. And then all of a sudden he just dropped Dave Chappelle on us. Like that's so triggering. And I know there were trans people in the audience. It's like, dude, come on. Yeah, fucking John Mulaney bringing out Dave Chappelle, not great, okay? Especially if you're a trans person. It's like, it doesn't feel great that you're like literally now in a situation where like every single fucking person in the audience is laughing at like a transphobic person with transphobic jokes and whatnot. And it's always dog shit too. Dave Chappelle's new sets, unfortunately, are not that great. I've listened to them over and over again. But like, the idea that like you made John Mulaney's career and like he owes you something is kind of stupid. I need help understanding why Chappelle's trans jokes are transphobic, but his race jokes aren't racist. Is it just because he's not a trans person? You already understood it. When Dave Chappelle makes fun of the black experience in America, he's coming at it from an incredibly thoughtful perspective. It's his own lived experience. Dave Chappelle, talking about trans people, comes from, just the outside being like, trans people are weird as fuck. Do you really think there's clout to be gained from Dave at this point? Yes, dude. Yes. You guys are crazy. You're literally insane if you think that there's no clout to be gained from Dave Chappelle. He's still seen by most people, especially in the industry, as like the best fucking comedian. Like he is seen as like the GOAT. And it will take a long fucking time for people to no longer see it that way. Okay. But he has solidified himself permanently as a legend already. The majority of people still literally love Dave. Yeah. Which is why I think it's like so whack when someone with that much social capital, can just like fucking blast off with the worst, like most transphobic fucking takes, like just, punching down to like, it's a combination of two different things for the record. Like, one is that trans people are very vocal on the internet, okay? They're very vocal in like certain areas, and brands will capitulate to, the woke mob, if you will, just like they capitulate to the right-wing mobs all the fucking time. I myself am a victim of such cancellations many times over, as you already know. That's it. Brands just don't want to be offensive, and brands want to be brands, and brands want to be woke because they think like that is the best, most appropriate way to go. And human beings are not like that, obviously. They're imperfect. Certain groups will sometimes be like overboard and will go over the top in areas where they think they can make change. It comes out of a place of powerlessness, okay? And that's the reason why a lot of these like comedians and whatnot think like, oh, you really can't offend trans people. Like they'll go crazy. They'll fucking destroy you. And the LGBT agenda, it runs Hollywood or whatever the fuck. It's like, no, there's just a lot of like LGBT members in Hollywood. That's it. They got fucking bullied in Kansas when they were growing up, or in Arkansas when they were growing up, and they were all like creative little fucking theater kids, and they moved to LA, and now they have executive positions in a creative industry. So now the other side is comedians use that as marketing because they're realizing like nothing really happens. I think like there's a bit of like the assumption that like trans people run Hollywood or some shit when that's not the case, obviously. Yeah, trans people run Hollywood so fucking hard that like the trans people at Netflix all got fired while Dave Chappelle got like $200 gorillion for being like, I'm a TERF and I hate trans people, like fuck them. That's crazy. That's crazy that like the power that trans people have is so wild, you know? Also, here's the thing. The only people that think like trans people hold a fraction of power when Republicans by way of state legislatures are literally like, passing like we should murder trans people bills are people who already have a profound amount of privilege where they're just like, they have the privilege to be like, yeah, it's fucked up. Like you can't even be transphobic on television. Yeah, well, you can kill trans people otherwise, So what's up? Like, I don't understand. On the one hand, you got the government literally being like, we should kill trans teenagers bill. Here, let's pass this one. This is going to be great when we push for it. And there's like, or like trans 14-year-olds can't play soccer anymore. And there's like one fucking person in the entire state that was already fucking playing soccer and was like a trans girl or whatever. You're just dunking on like one 12-year-old in your fucking bill. And then people are like, oh man, look at the power that these trans folks have, that I can't say that they all have dicks. And I just can't be transphobic. That's crazy. Literally, trans/gay panic is still a viable legal defense in a bunch of states. Yeah, it's so stupid. Like you only think that if you already are like incredibly fucking privileged in that regard. That's the other thing. It's just like, just be funny. Like, what the fuck's wrong with you? Like, it's just like a serious disease that people have in their brains. Like, they have a serious brain disease when they're like, comedians are meant to challenge society. Like they're philosophers of our age. Like they do cultural analysis. There's a truth to that. There's a little bit of truth to that, okay? But like, it's just so stupid, you know? Oh man, comedians are challenging society by what? Fucking constantly crying about like being bullied on the internet by trans people. You know what would really piss off Ricky Gervais? If there was no backlash to the special, if nobody got mad at all, if it just went down like a cup of lukewarm water someone got from the bathroom, that would piss Ricky off the most. Yeah, it's true. But it's not going to happen. People are already talking about it. I'm talking about it. People are going to post about it. They're going to say it's fucking sucks. And it's going to keep happening over and over again. But like ultimately, Ricky Gervais's fucking normalization of transphobia isn't necessarily that big of a problem in the grand scheme of things, because transphobia is the normative position. And more importantly than fucking Ricky Gervais, like, doing bottom of the barrel hacky ass fucking bits, is the government actually taking serious steps to harm trans people, purge trans people. Obviously, it goes hand in hand. This kind of like normalization of transphobia is also allowing people to not even approach the transphobic bills, like the anti-trans bills, is like something that is something that's bad and harmful. His Netflix special, Supernature, has only been released on streamer for a few hours, but it's already drawn criticism for showing your graphic and hurtful transphobic jokes. 4 minutes into the special, Gervais dives into material about the trans community. Oh, women, not all women. We already saw that one. TERF or trans, like, if you mention TERFs, like, you're just automatically not funny. TERFs are not funny. They are the least funny motherfuckers on the planet. They literally are just like lifeless, joyless, horrifyingly boring people. They are literally the people that like Gamergate was expressly against. The people that say like, don't say women, don't put men in women. It's Wimixon or Women with a Y. How dare you? Like those were like the rad femmes that everybody fucking hated, understandably. And now all those people that hated them are like, no, actually they're fucking tight. They're dope. Like they're actually dope. We're fans of them. And the thing is, like, just even talking about them, like even having a knowledge over the existence of TERFs makes you less funny by default.